Frank the Legend Shamrock. Let's give him a round of applause.
All right. So I'm going to start by telling you some stories because it'll relax your brain and get you ready for what we're about to do. So the first story is fighting is really hard and really dangerous and kind of scary. So if you can take that stuff out of it, then it becomes fun and interesting and a silly thing you do with your friends. So one of the biggest things I took from this creation of these arts was finding the joy, finding the game, finding the thing that we could do that was super important but wasn't as scary and as damaging and as painful or whatever it was. And so I'll teach you some of those games today because they're games you take with you. We can't play them all day. It won't do anything for you. But having the knowledge about the game will explode your mind because then you can take the game and tweak it for your need. If you want to be a leg attacker, whatever your game is, you can enhance it by playing the game more. And we'll play 2 games today because they're my 2 favorite games. And then anything else you guys want me to teach, I will teach you. But as Jake said, here's the downside. My knowledge is 14 years old because that's the last time that I really sat down and studied all of this stuff. So I can tell you the human body hasn't changed in 100,000 or plus years. So everything should still work. And everything should still be fundamentally and biomechanically as strong as you possibly can make your human body. And that should be the goal when you're applying these. Angles are great, everything's great, but it's maximizing your own human body to put energy into the hold or the move or whatever it is you're deciding to do. So you hear me talk a lot about breathing. Breath is life, breath is movement. You don't have any power without breath. So if you want to go somewhere, it looks like this. Because if you don't, you're not functioning that efficiently. So you'll hear some weird, crazy breathing. I'll make kind of weird, crazy breathing sounds. I'll remind you to keep breathing. They're all things you do for your brain because you want your brain not to think about this other stuff. You want your brain to go move, 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 apply, move, apply, angle, move. You just want it to flow. And if any other stuff's in the way, you won't have the flow going. You'll have other things. Oh, I'm nervous. Oh, my legs. Oh, this, oh, that. So the goal is to get rid of all that stuff. Congrats on your belt. Where'd you go? Bro, congrats on your belt. That is freaking amazing. Kayla, absolutely amazing. And here's the most amazing part. I never received 1 belt in my entire journey of 16 years because I was a professional fighter. I was not a martial artist. So any belt that was ever given to me, I never earned it, except for the championship ones. I have multiple black belts. I never did 1 technique. I don't know what the black belts are for or what style it was. It's just that I was the baddest dude on the planet, and they were like, bro, we're going to give you this out of respect. But I've never earned it. And that earning and that process, mine are all championship belts. That's just how my journey went. But that process of putting in the work, doing the thing, waking up early, going to bed, like whatever it needs, that's the real value in that journey. And man, that was super powerful, brother. So anyways, I want to tell you that because everyone's always, what is your belt? I got no belts. I literally have no belts because I never earned one. But I won a bunch of championship belts. And I won championship belts by picking your guys' brains and using your bodies, mostly without your permission or you even understanding what I'm doing. But I needed to know the information, so I went around and I found it. And 2 of my most famous, that I'm most famous for were beating Kevin Jackson in the UFC in 14 seconds, which I got a Guinness World Record for. The high school kids taught me that. It was wrestling with high school kids. Because I don't know how to wrestle. I never studied wrestling until I had to fight Kevin Jackson. Then I started studying wrestling for real because he was the baddest wrestler on the planet. Prior to that, I had no idea what wrestling was really about. The stance, the structures, the movements, the positions. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? I didn't know. This young kid taught it to me. I was like, what? Oh, okay. He just showed me the basics, the mechanics, the stuff you normally learn in the first couple of classes of wrestling. That you would drill and drill and drill and drill until you got comfortable and they became part of your flow. The second one was also taught to me by a high school wrestler in Dallas, Texas, because the other second famous fight was when I fought Igor Zinoviev, and I stovepiped him and damn near killed him. Yeah, it was really sad. I thought the sport was over. But he survived, never to fight again, but he survived. And I learned that move about 4 weeks before by another high school wrestler in Dallas, Texas. We had a wrestling match like this. I went to grab his head. And he literally lifted me up and stovepiped me to the point where I had to crawl in the corner and rest for 3 hours. I couldn't move. He just traumatized my whole body. And I'm like, what happened? I don't understand what he did. So I asked him, I go, well, what did you do? He goes, well, you can never grab the head like that. You never stand up and grab the head and wrestle. No, you're going to get tossed. And I go, oh, that makes perfect sense. Igor Zinoviev always grabbed the head. Igor Zinoviev, that was his style. Punch, 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 close the distance, grab the head. Close it up, and he had good judo. So this kid, 17 years old, probably never knew his name, but he did whip my ass, showed me this technique because my mind was in a position to learn. That's all it was. And I got hurt. So I was like, wow, that shit really works. My goal with Igor was to slam him, hurt him enough, like I was, laying in the corner, that I can get around and choke him. Or that I can get around and put him in a lock, right? Because he was arguably my equivalent from another universe. Like he was the other baddest dude on the planet. So think differently, even when you're learning stuff. Angles, tweaks, this, that. All of our bodies are different. None of us have the exact same machine, so the machines will work differently. The mechanics will always be the same. That doesn't change. But there's strengths in this body. There's strengths in this body, in length, height, width. There's all these different strengths that you can bring to play, especially if you have really good core mechanics. And that's what I'm all about, is core mechanics. So everything I teach you is going to be super simple, super easy. You probably know it. You probably know versions of it. You probably have extensions of it in and throughout the stuff, which is great. The most important thing for me are the games, concepts, and then the understanding of what's at risk. And let's talk about legs. Legs are a great game to play. But if you blow your knee out, your career's over. You're done. So that's a very high-risk game you're going to get into. The other problem with legs, it's a 50-50 game. If you got a leg, I got a leg. Now, we're both risking our knees or our ankles or whatever. So it's the mindset. Do I want to take a 50-50 chance over here? Do I want to go down this route in this game? Or is there another game I like better that might make me feel a little more comfortable? Is there another, whatever that game is? So having the knowledge gets rid of that fear. Gets rid of that, I don't really know what's going to happen. If you know what's going to happen, and you know the position it happens from, and you know the odds of it happening, then you got a decision to make. And if you played the game, it's a fun decision. You're like, fuck it, let's roll. If you have it, you're like, oh, he's got my leg. So let's start with the legs, and you don't have to do anything but sit there, and I'll show you the most important position that we're all supposed to be getting to. Because it's really hard. How many guys have broken a human leg before?
That's my own count.
Yeah, sure, that counts. Raise your hand. Okay? It takes quite a bit of effort, especially the bigger the joint, the bigger the bone. It takes quite a bit of effort to break a leg. I've broken quite a few legs. It takes a lot of physical effort. And so your technique, your mechanics, all that stuff's got to be tight, because when you're fighting for real, I'm not going to give up unless you are literally going to break my leg. I will not give up unless I know, yeah, my leg is going to break now. And then I'll be like, okay, you got me. Until that point happens, I'm never giving up. Why would you ever give up, right? A little pain, that happens. A little discomfort, that happens. But breaking a leg takes a bit of work, unless you play the game. Okay, so here's where here's where you are absolutely the strongest in all of your physical structure to attack a leg, and it's really on your side, and it's this position. And I was taught here, 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 and I was taught all these different positions. But when you really get down to it and you really want to break the biggest bone in the human body, you need all of your body involved. And so this one position is where my game always ends. Because the second I'm here and I have control, I'm breaking your leg. And the other guy's going, well, I can't let him get there because he's going to break my leg. Out of this one core position, not only do you have the strength to apply and break a leg, but you also have the strength to apply enough pressure and pain to where they will move and move positions for you. So you don't have to do a bunch of work. If your position is not solid and not strong, you'll apply, it'll hurt, but that guy's going to be like, yeah, but it's not going to break. So I'll just stay in the game, right? What do I have to worry about? So this is the core position that I'm always trying to get to. It's heels in, knees together. This thing is a clamp. This thing is a bar. And then this is the power source. And it doesn't work here. Look. Oh, that's the end of it. That's the end of it. But here I can go 15, 20 more inches of extension through my hips in power. And if you leave a bone in here, it'll literally snap off. It'll pop. And then it'll really, really hurt. So when we talk about the leg game, my job is to get to here or here. But this is our core base. So when we play the leg game, it's pretty simple. Can I borrow your leg? Sure. You got good legs? Yeah. How are your legs looking? Okay. So here's the leg game. Because this is the fundamental of what's happening. If I get to that position first, I have all the power. If he gets to that position first, he has all the power, at which point he can break my leg. So the game becomes who can get to said position first. That's the real game. So whoever gets there can then do the moves. If you do the move before you're there, nothing's going to happen. You'll just twist his foot around, it'll hurt a little bit, and he'll look at your structure and go, it's not going to break my leg with that stupid structure. Might hurt it a little bit. So the game is, shake hands, we're just trying to get to here. That's literally it. The problem is every time I do it, he's going to do this and stop me from doing that because he knows the game. He doesn't want me doing that. And I'm going to go, whoa, whoa, what are you doing? And I'm going to scoot out a little bit. And I'm going to make this so that it's all about whoever gets to the position first. That's all the game is. If you play this game, you'll never be scared of leg locks, and you'll leg lock the shit out of everybody. Because they all get here and they go, ha, the foot, ha! And they forget about the structure. So game is super fun to play. You can modify the game like, hey, let's start here, fucker. Yeah, how's that feel? Right? You can shorten the game. Well, how about this one? How are you going to play with that? All of it is to end in the exact same position, do the exact same holds that break the legs. So we're going to play the game, but very lightly, because I want what Pat was saying about doing offense and defense at the same time. This is a 50-50 game. If I stop doing offense and defense at any point, I might fall behind on the numbers. Right? So I'm always attacking and defending, attacking, defending, attacking, defending, getting the position and making my attack or making my structure. So let's light play the game. Yeah, I'll take this leg. This one's actually better leg. This one doesn't have any knee tendons. All right, we shake hands, and then we're just trying to get to that position. Go ahead. No, stop. No. Right?
Yeah.
So we don't need to go further because I won the game. So if I want to apply holds to the position, that's my prerogative or whatever. When you're playing, you don't need to. It's just dangerous. The truth is we can do all that stuff in slow-mo, and we can do all the flows out of that position, and we can find out where we want to break that leg and where the energies are without putting all that pressure into it. The pressure's in the position, not in the attack itself. Okay, let's try again. So we can shorten the game? Here, you shorten me.
Here.
Yeah, and hold this one. Oh yeah, that's fun. This is one of my favorites. The Sombo guys used to get me like this all the time. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
I'm going to push this foot down, you know. I'm going to bring this leg over.
Okay.
No, I'm lying. Oh, fucker! Fucker! Okay. So, more silly game stuff. Shortening it makes it hard, but it lightens my power. I don't have full power now. I got one short. So I know even if I get this position, I don't have 100%. I might not break it. If this comes out, pretty certain I will. So shortening the game sometimes makes it complicated, but you can get the funner moves. These are all that Sombo stuff on the outside happens out here, and all these angles and this type of stuff happens out on this edge. But the second I can get to real leg position, then I've got a solid game. Yeah, here we'll shorten me.
Sure.
Look, I'm short. Okay, go. Right? It's small. It's not a big movement. It's just who can get to leg position, who can get to the game. Because once you're there, squeeze the shit out of it, and you're in a position to do work. So let's play the game a little bit and have a little fun with it. Let me show you the James Brown. So if he shortens me, I'm sorry, take my leg and shorten me here. So if he shortens me on this one, and you don't like the leg game, we do the James Brown. We move into the next position because he shortened it, not me. He just made this little short thing for me to hop over. It's not hard to get over, but I don't want to play the game. And you make it short, I can change it and change the rules. When you're getting attacked, it's really about making sure your joints don't break as you defend the position, as you attack. So it's a constant thing. I'm attacking, I'm defending. I'm attacking, I'm defending. Where's his position? Where's mine? I don't know. The game makes it super simple. So we're going to play the game and just have a little fun with it. Let's go like 30, 40%. We don't need to rip on each other. You don't need to put holds on. You don't need to do anything. But be the first guy in position. And that position, once again, is here. And the power is... That'll break every leg. All right? So when you find yourself a partner, it's easiest if you find somebody about your own size, about your own mechanics, because then your game is going to be about equal in length and structure. Yeah. Yeah. Game on. Game on. Yeah. 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 So this is keeping you here, but it's not really necessary, is it? Because you could actually just pull your elbow in and stay in a tight position. Yeah, you don't really need to start pause because you're not in position yet. So that doesn't really do anything for you. All you need to do is be able to get into position. If you know where the foot is, yeah. So now he's trying to shorten you. That's the game. Push that one down. Scoot your butt over. Yeah. Yeah. So right now you feel it. You're only doing defense. You got to attack and defend at the same time. Ah, there you go. Roll it to the other side. Yeah, if you don't like the side, roll it to the other side. If you don't like a foot there, pull the foot out. Yeah. So you holding this does nothing for you, does it? No, but you pulling this open and breaking apart that structure means he doesn't have a game. So you don't get caught up in holding things. It's game. I'm just trying to get to the position. Just trying to get to the position. Game. Yep. That's it. Yeah. You're good. You're good. He ain't got you. Yeah, he ain't got you. He put the weight on it.
Sorry. That was unintentional.
Yeah, you get it. Once you got even 50% of a position, you can start tweaking on whatever you want.
Well, we were talking about that, about how strong this is.
Because you want to come over.
And once you get to here, and especially
you're done.
my
I think it's so
feet are
cool
in the
that
ground.
you
Yeah, it sucked. If you just this, I mean, it feels like this to me. This is what it feels like. Feel it?
Yeah.
Now it doesn't matter what hold you do. You're gonna snap his leg off.
This is my favorite position.
Is it? Yeah. It's the best. It's the best. Yeah.
Saying is like, didn't you like that? Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, and then you can even take it and go up on the head, and just keep rolling. Yeah, you can just keep rolling it. Yeah, you can keep bringing it around, but it's still the same position. You're gonna end up in that power position because you can twist it. They'll pop. They'll do stuff. They just won't break. So you guys went back to 50-50. Yeah. Everything was money, and if you would have just went here, you would have won the game. Right? But your brain was thinking about this foot, and it got trapped you up. But it's about getting to the position. We're just trying to get to the position. Right? So don't worry about the holds. Position. Oi. Yeah, and for you, rip this thing open. Rip it open. Don't let him get position. You're going to break your fucking leg, bro. Don't let him do that shit. That's it. Now he's short. Now you could win the game. By rolling to the side. Feel it? So that's the thing, is we're game, position, game. It's all it is. And then it'll advance because he'll try to leave and take off. And I got to roll in my head. I got to go over here. Position remains the same. So it's the game. Yeah. Okay, let me see more stall technique. Because it just stops his movement and the game freezes. So if you can shorten somebody and kind of, stretch their body out or stretch them out in here, there's also holds here. This is old Sombo style. You can damage people or get them to move. And if I wanted him to move, I would do a bunch of this because he's moving into the position I'm headed anyways. Right? Is where I'm trying to get to. So this one is a sneaky way to mess up the game. If you get caught up in it and you got shoes on, it's hard to get your foot out. You get jammed up in there. That's number one. Number two is if you just sit on this leg, he ain't doing shit. Because how's he going to get his position? So if you start losing the game, well, hold on a second. You can sit on things. You can slide your butt over. You can keep the game going. Everyone gets caught up and, oh, no, he's advancing. Oh, no, he's advancing. He's advancing. Yeah, of course he's advancing because you're not attacking and defending. You're just holding this leg and waiting for a position to happen. But if I were holding this leg, I'd be like, okay, he's going to move. I'm going to go this way. I'm turning to my side. Nope, he's going to go this way. So I'll roll over here. Oh, he's going to keep running. So I'll get up on my head. It's the same position. It just keeps going. All right? So sit on the leg is a great one. Extend it. Just lock it out there so it's jack. It freezes everything. And then he's got to go, and then you got a window to make an advance on it. And then if you totally dislike said game, then don't play it. Get out. Just keep defending the position until you're out. Then you have to play the game to pick a new game. And that's the game you play then, like choke game, side game, or whatever. The other foot one, hold on, memory, sit, shorten. Shit, there's one more.
Is there a bridge or bridge and pass it over?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Thank you. You're on point. Here's what your brain doesn't realize. These things are huge and strong. Like the legs are massive. And they're really very little defense against my tiny little arm. So I can pull stuff and I can do this stuff. But a guy with strong legs and who has a good game, this is like moving around a thing that's locked on my leg. It's going to be like, So one of the easiest ways when you lose position, but you haven't lost the game yet, is don't let this stuff linger up here. Don't let him get in position and get all tight up in here and jack you up. You can use your whole body to lift these things up. It's not my arm. I'm not going, oh, I'm going to move I'm going to defeat this leg with my arm. No, you're not. He's probably going to advance his position. But I can take this, hook the heel, and lift my whole hip and body so that the energy of my body is opening the legs. Now I'm in a better position. But you can't just foot-hand fight. That's not a game. There's no strength in this. So if you really get caught up and you're like, oh man, I'm going for it, but he's got me, I can rip this stuff apart with the energy, not my arm, with my hips, with my breath, with me exploding everything up. Because if I stay here and let him advance his position, he's going to break my leg next, which I don't anybody wants that. Seems like a bad idea. So look at this. I'm just hooking. If it goes deep and I go, oh shit, he's got me. I'm just going to hook it and then throw my body into it. And then I begin my roll because I know it opens up the body. He's going to open up his legs. Now I got to do is throw this one over. Or if I don't like the game, now that I've started this energy, I can go, oh shit. Whew. And I can exit the game. So a couple of shorten, sit on it, and really lift it. Like lift it with your body, hook that thing. Like really get it out there. And you saw he crossed his legs. Doesn't matter. You grab the leg and you hip it, it'll open up. And really you just need the position to open up enough so that you can either make an advance or make a retreat if you're not interested in the game anymore. You guys, play it slow. Play it slow. All right, all right, all right. You want to get the feeling of like, no, oh, okay, I'm okay with that. That's fine, that's fine. So 50-50, even it up. So you got one, he's got one. Right now you got two. Right now you got two, and he's got none. Here, put this one here. Here, other side. Sorry. So see how it's 50-50? No, it's an even game, right?
Yes, sir.
Nobody's winning.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's where it starts. Yeah. Okay, let's bring you back. Okay, right here. Okay, and for you guys, you bigger guys, play it slow. You don't have to be fast.
Yeah.
All you really need is like, okay, that feels good. And, okay, this angle change is nice. And okay, now I'm going to roll to this side because this is going to change the game. So it's just these side rolls. Okay. Right? Yeah, and then a little bit of hand movement. Sure. And you're fighting the base of the game. Okay. And you guys can do that slow. It can be like, ugh, I don't like that. And skirt. How about this? Yeah. Here you go.
I say that, you gotta take your hand and stop me from taking your back. Yep. That hand. Yeah. But,
Nice. Yeah, throw your hips in it. The bridge into it. No, not you. Not you. Him. Yeah, literally bridge your hips into it while you move it. Yeah, pull it up and bridge. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Game on. Yeah. Because if you don't, he's going to turn your ankle and then you're screwed. So it's super important and super. And when you guys start the game, come here and start for me. Make sure it's 50-50. He got a leg, you got a leg. Nobody's got the advantage. Okay. And then we're going to come in from there and try to achieve leg position. And you guys go half speed. Really, what can I do? Turn my hip out, pull it off, tighten it up, shorten it. There's not a lot I can do. Yeah. I just need to be aware of what I'm doing, where my hips are going, and what the next position is.
I thought you'd be different.
Everybody does. Yeah.
You sound like me. I thought you'd be like.
Everybody does. Well, what most people know, I'm a super nerd. Yeah. I'm like, I love learning. I'm a total nerd.
Well studied.
Yeah.
I thought you like Wolverine, but you're like Deadpool.
Yeah. I'm a nerd. But when I started, it was like a bunch of tough dudes, and then me with a notebook, because nobody took notes. Nobody was like thinking that way. They just go in and beat each other up.
Yeah, that was the end of
And I'm like, oh, it's got to be better.
So
yeah, right. It's got to be better.
So you were
Yep.
stuff like this. So
Yep.
we can also go on top like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
As
100%.
opposed to always trying to go for the bottom.
100%. Yeah. And this goes from side to side. So let's put you guys in a 50-50. So he's got a leg, he's got a leg, nobody's winning, right? Okay, so just from here, if you just roll to your sides, game has changed, you can throw, he can't. Feel it? He's blocked.
So he
Okay.
has a better position.
He's got a better position, but watch this. Oh, shit. Now you may or may not, depending on where the foot position is ended up.
Because even if I slip, I got a longer distance.
Uh-huh. So it's in these rolls, side to side, hip rolling over, opening up his position. Can't let him have the position. We're always going to defend. And then we're always going to attack. What are we attacking with? Position. Position.
Did you get this from Sombo? Is this
It's
like, or it's just, I mean, it's
I broke a whole bunch of legs and realized the amount of energy it took. And then we try to find a better, less efficient way to do the same techniques.
Evolution,
This is it. Yeah, and then the problem is to study legs, you have danger. You're going to turn heels and twist. That's dangerous. The game is not dangerous, but the game reinforces what is most important. You get this position, you can do any hold you want because you won the game. Apply what you desire. Yeah, and then you'll see afterwards because once you start application, he's either going to run or fight, and if he runs, then we follow him with moves and new positions. And that's the next step of the game. But you guys are great. Just your speed is great. You know, just rolling. 99% of the time, you can change the game by just rolling to your sides.
And that's part of what you're talking about, bridging, like.
Yeah, well, if you get locked. So here's the thing. If he locks you, and he gets this good position, pull them heels in, nice and tight. Pull them in. Feel that? It's like, it should feel like this. That's what you want. You want to get here and be like, yeah, what's up, fucker? What's up, fucker? So that's a strength you'll build, and an energy that you'll have to distribute. And then for you, look, you got this base, look, 90 degrees, you got this structure. If you don't defeat this structure, you're done. So the way to do it is hook on it. Don't just use your arm. Throw your body, throw your hips into it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Throw your hips in. Just open the whole thing up. Open the whole thing up, and then you're not held. Yeah, then you're not held. So it's a weird position, but you can literally just be like, no. And the whole thing rolls and opens and changes. Now the game is afoot. Different position, same goal. But it's just fiddling with it, and you'd be like, oh, wait a minute, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's right, that's right, that's right. Here's the problem. As soon as you get in the game, you grab a foot, and then you start thinking about the foot. You forget about defense, you forget about position, forget about combos. And that's not the real game. That's a distraction. The game is that position. Yeah, position, position. Yep. Position, position. Position. Oh, beautiful. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So you got great position, and where we're losing the strength and structure, he's not helping you with his arm there, but where you're losing the strength and structure is that in position. Feels like this. Okay, and these heels come in, and it feels like this. He should feel like, oh shit, he's fucking got my leg. And now you can do whatever hold you want. But that's the position for you. If your legs are open, there's no strength in this. There's positioning. You can easily move and get to the other. You can move around, but to get that strength, you're going to have to lock this thing down 90 degrees, get your heels in, and get that hip so it can exercise the energy through. All right, so anytime he's open up, and if he's smart, look, he'd pull your legs open. Position gone. So the whole game is get here first, get here first, get here first. And by the way, guys, if you just do this, changes the whole game, doesn't it? It's just roll the other side. There you go, roll that side, change the whole game. Yeah, perfect. All right, quick update. Quick. Can you mind if I use your feet, sir? So I stack my feet. As you can tell, I'm actually pulling one up, pushing the other down, squeezing my knees together, pulling my heels to my ass. All that is happening. One up, one down, heels, knees. All that is happening in my leg position. Second, I cross my legs. I create a breakable barrier. That another good leg guy will go, well, you shouldn't cross your legs, bro. And will break your own leg over your own leg because you'll be providing a mechanic for him. This provides no mechanic. It's also hard to separate. So when you do this hip and you open this thing up, if these are pushed and pulled together, this whole thing just goes over here, weirdly, to the next position where you can break legs. So a lot of people, they leave legs open. This is lazy. legs out. This is lazy. Cross feet, that's dangerous. But for me, it's one up, one down. I'm literally pulling these. There's a battle going on down here. And I'm trying to get my 90, and then I'm pulling it all in. This is what that structure should look like at the end. If you end up on your elbow, know that when you extend yourself, you'll end up here because of your elbow point. But if you extend yourself on your side, you'll remain in the most powerful position throughout this movement. And this is what you're trying to get to. You can still do stuff, you can still work from up here. But if I'm gonna try to break this big man's leg and I need all of my energy, this will send me to a place where that energy is not accessible. Whereas this one will. And the other thing, the game, you can change the whole thing just by rolling to the side. You don't like this, we get here and it's all jammed up and it's like, oh, this is weird, uncomfortable, I don't like this. Just roll to the side, like change the game. But know that if I change the game and I expose my heel, I gotta now defend this and decide, okay, is that where I wanna go? Is that what's important? Like what's going on here? I know what I'm trying to do. Oh, whoop, 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 whoop. Trying to get my position for the game. This is what mine looks like. Does it feel like I have your leg? Yeah, it kind of sucks. Yeah. So you're squeezing these together. You're pushing these together. Crossing them is dangerous. You can do it, but it brings down those risk points because now you got this, you've already created a break, stack them, and I pull one up, push one down. They're joined. So yes, move my feet. Oh, we'll go over here. Oh, we'll go over here. And if you don't like the game that you're playing, you can exit. The exit usually comes off of a good roll. That's the energy needed to create the momentum to exit the game. So if I'm in this battle game with him and I'm like, man, this guy's legs are really strong, I don't know if this is really the game I want to play. Then I can start breaking things down, like pinning this, trying to sit on it, doing things that stop the position from happening, knowing that I'm going to stick my foot on his ass and leave this game because I don't want to play the game. So that's what this lengthening and the sitting and the rolling, they're all designed just to keep the position from getting strong and making it fluid. The easiest way to get all these holds is defeat the position. The next way is to turn and run. You don't want to play the game. If you do want to play the game, then you just keep playing, and eventually someone will 50-50 the win. If you want to try crossing your feet and seeing the result, give it a shot. But I recommend if you are the opponent, apply some energy to it and make sure that that's where they want their feet fixed and stuck. The other thing is if I cross my feet real good and he puts a bunch of leverage on it, I can't uncross my feet. So now I'm kind of stuck in this position. It's a good position to be stuck in, but if I've left him things to break, then it's not the best position. We need the best position with the highest probability every single time. Otherwise, we're going to get jacked up. Make sure when you start the game that it's equal. So this is an equal game. He's got my leg, I have his leg, nobody has the advantage. We can start from here, right? Take my hand. Okay, go. Oh! Sorry, I tricked you into that one. Okay, go. Okay, so this is an equal game. Hey, we're playing an equal game today. But if I'm working with a younger student and they don't have the same game skills that I have, then why don't we give them some advantages? Why don't we let them shorten my leg or push me out to here? Why don't we add some things that make it much more vulnerable for me so he can easily get to maybe that position he's looking for and have a good game against a more experienced opponent. So I'll take a step back. I'll let him here, sit on my foot. All right, now let's play the game. Right, knowing I'm at a huge disadvantage. Game still remains the same. I still can't let him get there. It's the mechanic, nothing changes, but I can handicap myself to help him out a bit. And we can play the same level of game, even if we have different levels of skill. That's what the leg game is all about. Turn. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's play a little bit more. And then guys, if you're a foot crosser, it's not recommended. I'm not gonna recommend it to you, but now's the time to add it. Add it to your game. Are you getting stuck? Are you getting jammed up? Are you getting crooked in that position? Most likely you will eventually. Mine does this, up and down. I do these, and they clamp together, and they pull to my ass. And that's my position. I know, it's weird. That shit works, man. This is really where you're at.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you ever trained with any Mexican guys?
Yeah.
We learned the leg game 20 years ago.
Oh no, yeah. Yeah, oh no way, Tony, yeah, heck yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is where all this, I made up all the games. We didn't have games. We were just rinsing each other's legs off. We were just hurting each other. We're just hurting each other for no reason. So that leg hold is actually just keeping you in place.
This one.
Yeah, you don't really need to hold that leg. You could actually just put your elbow down next to it.
My leg's not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere, right? So now that you don't, now you can use the hand. Now the hand is working for you instead of working against you. Before it was trapping you. Yeah, pull that knee apart. Oh, he don't like it. Get out, bail. Love it. Easy. Yeah, pull that hip out. Pull that hip out and in. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he got you on that one. Yeah, money. Perfect. Yeah, awesome, you guys. Very nice. Yeah. Tomorrow you wake up like, why are my legs so sore on the inside? It's muscles we never use. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, do you do that cross ankle thing from here too? Like,
If it's hidden, you can do it. Okay. If it's not, you shouldn't do it.
yeah, because now it's just,
If it's hidden, you can do it, and you'll almost always be okay. But if it's seen, first thing I'm going to do is, like, as I'm fighting position, stack those fuckers up and cause you a whole bunch of pain, knowing you can't get them unhooked. You hooked them for me. So if I just put weight on top and something underneath, these are trapped. They're jacked.
so if you catch someone like this,
Yeah, so if you catch it, yeah, anytime someone crosses, you just create this weird barrier. You create this weird barrier that enables them to be manipulated. And so you don't want to. You can avoid it, you don't want to. It gets applied. If you're on your elbow, you're going to end here. Right. That's where the energy is going to end. If you're on your side, you're going to end way back here with a broken leg.
Creating like a little channel.
You just trap it.
This trap.
You just trap it.
Lock this
Yeah.
piece of the floor.
Yeah, because you don't really need the foot. You need the position. And what you need more importantly is this other foot not to get the other position. Get to the holds and we'll do all the flows and stuff. That stuff's easy. It's the game. There's a few more tweak things you can do for, can I borrow your legs? More fun, goofy stuff for the game. We didn't really go over the James Brown, but if he shortens on me and I don't want to play the game, you can literally do this. Grab him, scoot yourself back, and stand up. And the game's over. So we call it the James Brown. When someone sits short on me, I just go, whoo, James Brown. And then I roll to the next position. I'm not playing the game anymore, not a 50-50 game anymore. So I do want to do the James Brown. The easiest way to do the James Brown is if I sit into the move and give you energy to sit over my knee. Does that make sense? So if I do this and I go, yeah, I'm pulling you into me, and all you got to do is keep the energy going and lift it up. Now, no, a good leg guy's just going to go, oh, yeah, motherfucker, and he's going to go right back to the position and the game. So after you hit your James Brown, you're deciding where you're going. Going this way, I'm going forward, and I'm going to engage in a different angle of grappling. People that sit short with a short leg can do it very fast. It's easy to swing in and short leg it. It's hard to get 2-on-1, to get real, solid power. So if you get short-legged, a lot of times it'll happen here where a guy's moving through and he'll just go whoop, and he's already in position. Yeah, feel it? So I'm also grabbing this, pulling on it, because I'm trying to stay tight to him, but that's creating all this energy for him. If he just follows it, he'll come up on top. And that's the easiest defense to the short leg, especially if you don't want to play the game. You get short leg quick, you're like, oh, no. James Brown over that thing, change the game, get into a different position. Then it becomes a different application. I'll say it again, you can cross, but you shouldn't, because there's risk, there's danger there. If they're crossed and everything rolls over and now your legs are trapped, that's not good. If he finds a hold and locks your feet together and you can't separate them, that's not good. But anything else, even this one works, just putting them aside. The best thing I found is the push up, pull down. Squeeze it all in. And literally, once you get the habit of doing this, it feels like someone just went and just grab the shit out of your leg. And that's when you know someone knows the leg game, and you're in big trouble because they got the position, they're ready to flow. So let's start our flows. We don't need to do the holds to do the leg game. If you're going to take this away, do not do holds in your leg game, especially with young people, because they'll just blow their knees out. They don't know. And people my age too, because we're old and our knees just blow out as well. Let me see what I was going to do. No, sorry, I just had a brain fart. Say again?
Short get-ups that you did last.
Oh, yeah. So James Brown is a flow we should all do, because it's the perfect one to get out of leg position if you don't want to play and somebody short foots you. So we'll do that as a drill. The drill actually looks like this. This is all that's happening. He sits back, he shortens, and I go, oh shit! And I stand up, or I step forward. Yeah, because you got this bump here now, right? There's a bump here. He's pulling this one tight. So the energy's coming this way, and I just grab the knee, post on the knee, and I go like this, and I push it over. And then I James Brown, I step over him. It's kind of a goofy drill. Everyone's body sort of works differently from it. The barrier is this piece right here. This is your barrier. So you know what you got to get over if you want to get out of the game, right? This is the barrier. He just shorted you, and now you're stuck, and one other, a little further, and he's going to have this. So if you don't like that shit, and he catches you quick, here's all I'm going to do. Grab it. James Brown. And I stand up and I stand over the whole thing. Now I'm out of the game. Now we can play a different game. How about the side game? How about the runaway game? I'm a fan of the runaway game. So I do want to get the flow of the short entrance because it's a great entrance. People that don't know legs, you can short them all day and then advance your position. Because all you got to do is get that foot over. So it's an easy attack if I'm working the guard or whatever, or I come across here, it's an easy attack for me to tuck everything in, and get short. It's not 100, but it's easy to get to the position quickly. And you did it right. Pop up, turn, pick your direction. But let's do the James Brown as a partner drill. So once again, my partner, it's easiest if your partner's up a little bit. So this is the easiest position to do this. And I got you short, right? You got a James Brown. How? James Brown! James Brown! It's easier when I give you some energy, but that's it. Yeah. That's all it is, really, truly. And then if you stay there, know that I'm going to do this next. Right? So once that energy comes up, you either set it down or you get the hell out. Crouch over my opponent. I got his leg. I'm not even holding it. I'm just going to grab his knee, and I'm going to sit down short into this position. See it? Yep. Now that I'm short, he's going to take the energy, come on up, and he's going to James Brown my ass. Yeah, that's the flow we want to add next. All right, let's do it. You guys starting from here. You start from here. Just pull that elbow in, tuck that leg. Grab that knee, sit tightly into position. Let your opponent do his biz. Yeah. Stance. Yeah, you only got one, you only need one. That's it. Yeah, it's pretty natural once you get the hat. Once you go, oh, he's going to sit on me, and he's going to shoot. You roll right up with it, right? So some of us hear sounds, we equate it to movements. Some of us hear mechanics, and we equate that to, so all of our brains learn differently. If you're a teacher or you're wanting to teach some of this stuff, add the crazy sounds. Because what it does to your brain is, oh, that's right, that's how James Brown used to do the thing. And it, for some reason, clicks. Like it makes your brain go, that makes sense. Whereas before it would be a complicated concept, or it would take a while to get through to your brain. What's the other one we used to do? I used to always teach this, putting out your cigarettes. And they'd be like, what are you doing? I'm like, putting out cigarettes. This is how you pivot when you kick and rotate and create energy and power. But no one teaches you this. And so you have to figure it out through technique and technique and technique and practice and practice. But actually, you could just walk in the gym and start doing this one day. Yeah, and it'll give you that balance and that proprioceptive point where you have all the power and technique. And you can do 1,000 reps, or you could do this. I was trying to think of my other crazy sounds, because when you brought that up, I forgot that I do that. But whenever I teach kids, they pick it up right away, and they start making all the sounds. And so there's all this weird sounds that are happening because their brains are just, going nuts with it. I'll think of more sounds. Okay, so let's do our flows for the holds. This stuff is all technical, so that you don't need any pressure. You can open your legs, like you can relax. The holds haven't changed. The flow is the same. I've only broke one knee backwards. That takes a lot of effort. Like it really, truly does. Like it hurts, and some people will give up, some people won't. It took me like before it actually broke and did the thing. So no, a knee is really hard to break. Anytime an ankle comes across the body or your heel's up or exposed, this is really easy to get hurt, really bad. So when I'm playing the game, I'm never gonna let my foot get across or get my heel up where it's gonna really attack my knee. I'll put it over here all day. I'm okay with that. Because when it turns, I can turn. But when this one turns, you can't turn. You can't relieve the pressure from it. So if someone pulls me across here, even if we're standing and we're just playing leg games, I'm never gonna let someone get me up on this side. And by the way, if we're wrestling and playing leg game, I'm always trying to get your foot up on the other side. Because I know it's the most damaging, dangerous technique that we can do. So we'll cover all of these, your basic flow, the cross one here. Just want to reiterate, you can tighten those knees up, like you can keep working on that position, but please don't apply the holds and jack people up because we're just going to hurt each other and there's really no reason for it. I'm in the most awesome position. My feet are stacked. I'm pulling one up, pushing one down, squeezing my knees together. I got a 90-degree angle here, which I know is the strongest structure in my body that I can achieve. I'm not on my elbow, I'm actually on my side. So I know that when I apply this, I can go back here, which is gonna be more than enough to break this man's leg. So with all this position in place, I can then go to my holds. And the first one is your Achilles hold. It's real simple. You just slide it through. I put my fist on my hip bone so that my other bone is up. This is what you can't see when I'm applying this hold, and the reason why it hurts so bad, so that weird arch bone. So I'm literally putting my fist on my hip and I'm putting my bone into the back of your leg, and it will break. I've broken some legs in this position because of the correct structure of my body. So no space, bone up. It goes to here. That's what you want. But if your position sucks or your legs are out, it goes to there. So it's all about the structure and the position. So our first one's Achilles hold. Mine looks like this because of the way my body lines up. Yours may look different. All you really need is some type of bar through there so that when you apply this pressure, that bar is the attack point. That's all you really truly need. That bar can be anything you like. Doesn't really matter. Mine looks like that because that's how mine looks. So the Achilles hold and the block is to straighten your leg. Straighten your leg. Hold, blocked, right? So the counter is change my position back and reach for the toe. Straight leg, the tip of the toes will bend the leg every single time because it's a fulcrum point. So now, same technique, everything remains the same. It breaks long before that. And then the flow after the toe hold, if he doesn't give up or starts to run, is I toe heel him. So all I'm doing is grabbing the heel at the end with my fingers, and I'm continuing this downward force in my mechanics and structure, making sure the leg can't straighten. And I want to add a little bit to the heel. That's going to attack here, and this one really sucks. So toe heel is my next one. From my toe heel then is my heel hook. I'm doing these in order for a reason. If you go to the heel hook first, heel hook's actually quite easy to get out of if somebody moves quickly and if someone knows how to point their toe. So if he's sharp, he'll straighten his leg, point his toe, and start spinning the fuck out of here, and it'll be really hard for me to get this technique. But if I hammer him with a good Achilles hold, cause him some pain, make him straighten his leg, cause him some more pain, now when I apply it, his brain's gonna be like, I don't know, it's a lot of pain, man. It feels like it just keeps coming. So this is our toe heel. From the toe heel, all I gotta do is release and then curl my bone around his heel bone. So this is what most people you don't see, is I'm actually connecting my bone around his heel. So now this thing is hooking and pulling in his heel. And now that his heel is locked and it's a part of my body, now I go back to my structure of power. So we are going Achilles hold. Ready, straighten your leg. Oh no, he blocked me. Toe hold. Ah, he's still in it. Toe heel. Ah, not working. Heel hold. That feels crazy, right? I'm not doing anything but just pulling it all in and then tightening up the structure. And so if I make any other movements, it'll start to damage his knee and everything attached to it. So we'll cover those 3 first. That's your basic flow. Here we go. Ready? And you can help me. Ready? I'm not going to hurt you. So Achilles hold. Straighten your leg. Ah, okay, fucker. Toe hold. Nope. Toe heel. Ugh. Nope. Heel. That is your greatest leg combo flow there is. And you'll catch most people with one of those holds down the line. We'll do these, and then we'll come back, grab the knee bar after this, and then we'll put the leg across the body and do the most dangerous, horrible knee breaking technique. Yeah, so grab your partner, just leg flows. Leg flows. Keep going. Aye. Come back. So that's what happens when you apply the leg technique, right? It's this plus that power extension. So every time I do it, I do the hold a few times, and then I actually go release. Because if I'm always throwing short punches, I'm never going to have a long punch, right? So for this one, get in there good. He's going to go, oh yeah, that hurts. And then add a few reps of, yeah, that's exactly where I should be. And then we'll go to the next hold. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mind seeing kind of what I'm doing?
Yeah, let's check it out. Here, just roll him over. Yeah. Take the leg. That's one there. Yep. And you can stack. But I wouldn't recommend it. And you know why I wouldn't recommend it? Because all he's got to do is grab this, and he's starting to damage your whole structure.
So how was it that you were
Yeah. And this one's going down, this one's coming up. My heels are coming to my butt. My knees are squeezing together. Feel the weight, feel the weight. You need this if you really want to break someone's leg. So otherwise, they're going to get angry and just get the fuck out. And if you come off your elbow and lay on your side, now you've got the full extension to come back as far as you want with as much power as you want. Yep, there's your bar. Yep. And right now this bar is diminished. Your bar is going down. Bar doesn't go down. The hips go through the bar. All right. Now release it. Same position, same structure. Ready? Go all the way through your hips as far back as they go. Oh, good. I'll do the same thing. And this time we're going to really tighten this down. So heels in, knees together. Push your hips through exactly like oi, 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 oi. Beautiful. That's power. That'll break the leg. All right? Yeah. Keep your flow. I love everything about this but this. Yeah. And then let's tighten this up. This is good. The good structure. Yeah. This is what our brains forget. It should feel like this. A lot of times you need nothing. If you get that tight and you just go, a smart guy is going to be like, oh, fuck, I'm fucked. Like, he got me. He got me. I'm done. A smart guy's going to be like, man, this game is over, bro. Like, fuck me. Because it should feel like that, right? It already hurts. It already feels confining. Yeah. Yeah. I'm already almost thinking about that. That's when you're a real OG, like, no, you got position. I'm good. I'm just giving up. I give up. I give up. Other side over here.
You want my legs?
Nope, his leg over here.
Oh, his leg over there. Boom. And you want my feet like this?
Yep. Go ahead and stack them like this. Here's why we stack them, right? Remember how I showed you move the body and throw the hip into it? If they're together and he does that, your feet just move to the next side. So that you're just in the next, oh, thank you. I'll go over here and attack. Thanks, bro. Right? But if they're not, they'll separate, and then the whole game is over. But you don't want that. If you get position, you need to hold that shit and squeeze the shit out of that leg in your structure. So this looks good. Let's start over. Okay. So, yeah, take the balls of your feet. Mine look like this. I'm literally pushing one up, pulling one up, pushing one down. Yeah, and I'm doing this. Yeah. So do that here. And then pull your heels to your butt. Get them in there. Yeah. And then this even more. Okay. Now this is just a bar. It can be any type of bar you want. Yeah. All you need to do is not have the bar go down. Bar goes down, then the angle goes down. So the bar stays the same. The hips go through. Yep. Nice. Yep. And on that one, go ahead and straighten that arm out. Get that arm locked. Right? Because see here, feel the power? Here it's secure.
Oh, because then I can just bridge.
But if I'm up here and I bridge, look, I lose all the power. So I'm gonna lock it, get my structure. If it's there, I'll put hips into it. If not, I'll reach over and turn it. Yeah, and everything stays the same. So this is when it's tight like this, you need very little here.
Sorry.
Because everything's immobilized. Yeah. Yeah, take this like this, go. Yep, and then lock it, that's it. And then you're pulling it into the body, and now it's the same movement. Hips, stand, yeah. Your technique is money. This looks so, so good. Yeah. Now, ready? Just pull it into you. Now, it's this movement. Again, same thing. Everything stays the same. Your hips. Yep. That's it. That's it. Yeah. And then if you want to take it without it and just do a rep, it's the same technique. Look, leave a leg. It's the same technique. Grab the heel, tighten everything up. Yeah, so breathe those hips through, all the way through, all the way through. Feel like we're going to our back a little bit, losing some of that energy? No, stay on our side. Yeah. Ah. That's the hard part, because your brain goes everywhere else, your body goes where it wants to go, but it needs to hold this position if you really want to break a leg. A smart guy like him is going to try to bail, or a guy who doesn't want to play the game is going to try to bail. And the easiest way to bail is take your affected leg, turn it down, and get the hell out. And you can stick your foot in his butt. You can do whatever you need to do to gather that distance out. That's me running away from the game and capitulating. But on the way out, I have to turn my knee down and expose myself to the knee bar. And a good guy who's got his flow down, he knows, oh great, you know, after he goes here, then he goes there, and I'm just gonna grab him in that one. So I wanna move to the knee bar, and then we'll do the cross-legged heel hook here. So here, let me do it on you. So I have good position, I'm causing him pain, he doesn't like it, he decides we're gonna get out of this game, but he has to turn his knee down. And so the second he does, I'm just gonna restructure my position. I'll keep the foot if I can, if not, I'll scoop it and hold it, whatever I can do to stay in this position. But then I'm doing the same thing I've always done. Doing the same thing. Sometimes if he's up and running, this will end up in the air. And I'll be running after this knee. It doesn't matter because the position stays exactly the same. Nothing changes. I don't have the same energies on my back here, but I don't think he's going to hang around and play this game for long. I think he's going to try to find his way out. Meanwhile, I'm going to try to break his leg. And if I can't, then I'm going to go to the next position or the next hold or the next flow. But these just start from the beginning. This one's solid. This one hurts. This one's more painful. This one makes you move. This one breaks your ankle. This one breaks your knee. So we want to end up on that. Somebody trying to escape. This is me escaping now. And you attack that position and make it strong. Now, the downside is if he's quick or if he gets the foot on there, he's going to get that knee pretty far down. He's going to make it harder for you to attack and maintain that position. So suck it up. Fucking scooch it. Do whatever you got to do. Crab crawl after his ass to keep this position, because as long as you have it, you're in total control. Now, he didn't get the knee lock, but look at where we restarted again. The game just keeps going. He's going to roll me here. He's going to go through his holds again. I'm going to be like, oh, shit. I'm going to try to make my escape at the end. And that's the end and the knee bar. So we're going to do both techniques because this is the most dangerous one. Like I said, it's really hard to break a knee backwards, but it's easy to tear the internal tendons and to mess with the ankles. So anytime this heel goes across, that's the big danger, because you can't roll out of it. There's no way out. The escape is get that foot busy and get this foot clear. Step on it, stomp on it, like get your foot out. Don't ever let it get across. I'm never going to let him do this in the game. And if my foot is over here, I'm going to stack it and protect it and make sure he can't fuck with it. That way it never gets caught over here by itself and puts me in this ultimate danger. This one is not hard to break stuff because it's all the ways you're not supposed to bend. And most sporting groups have gotten rid of the cross-legged heel hook because it's so dangerous. So that's how jacked up it is. They just like, nope, we can't do it no more. It's far too dangerous. But where it works well in the game of things is a lot of guys will get sloppy. A lot of guys will leave a foot, or they'll leave a leg out, or they'll cross their leg. They'll expose it for you. So all you need to do is see it, know, oh shit, he's not even paying attention to that shit. And you can easily like reverse this whole game and expose that ankle, you know, to a position where he's in super, super danger. And it can be done anywhere. The beauty of it is it can be done anywhere, including standing. You can even do this and jump into position and keep still tight on it. And I saw a guy completely explode his whole leg and knee and everything off this one because he did the short sit with the heel hook, and he tore the guy's everything out. And he tore all of his knee tendons. You can hear him. So just super dangerous when we're doing it. Let's do these two techniques, finish up our flow, and then we'll go to the next thing. Yeah. Nice. Just suck that in. Look at it. Suck it in. Yeah. So I'm going to literally go around the heel. I'm going to go. So my bone is part of that, and I'm going to pull that in. Yeah. So circle that, heel it. You're past the point. Look, I'm going with my thumb. Now the wrist bone locks in the heel bone. Yeah, feel the difference? And I was taught the difference. Make a huge circle and the heel will pop up. It doesn't pop up. You got to scoop it. Yeah, you got to scoop it up. Yeah, and here we're getting lazy. See this? Yeah, get up in there. And then when you make your heels, But that's just because things got big. Things opened up. So that got more space. For sure, yeah. He's already in position, so start him with a toe hold. Yep. And for you don't like that, do you? Get the hell out. Yeah. So now that he's turned his knee down, your job is to scoot this position up to where the knee's down, right? So it was down a second ago, but then it went past. When it's down, you want to move yourself into position and pull it on top of you so that the knee's where you can attack it. Okay. Boom. And it'll depend on him, because if he doesn't turn it all the way down, you may have to make another movement. Okay? And if he doesn't get away, you might end up here, which is the exact same position, doing the exact same thing, except for the heels are in, the feet are together, nice and tight. Yeah. That's why if you don't know the game, you're just flopping around, giving him holds. While he's going position, and you're going, oh. Yeah. There's always something. Yeah, there's always something. There's always something. Cause, yeah. Boom, you don't like that? Bounce. Yeah. Then he's back to the knee bar.
Someone really long and tall that's just a bully going against someone smaller.
Yeah.
Do you have like any advice for a smaller person?
No, you're screwed. Play the game. Yeah. Size matters. Length matters. Leverage matters. It all matters.
So can I ask like a question on sort of what I show and see what?
For sure. Yeah, I would love to see it. Yeah.
So
guys, this is our brainstorming session. So literally, if you got something you want to think about, talk about, figure out, or a move or whatever, we're going to figure it out, or we're not.
I have this, and I don't want to, because your bite's amazing, right? So yeah. I know that's part of the reason you're stopping it. One of the things I did was this simple little, just like, I call it, a high Achilles, like high. So when he goes to take my back, go ahead.
Yeah.
Stops him from getting around. And those 3 butt scoots, I got his leg.
Yeah.
The other one is, I call a shotgun grip. Where we come in here and he goes to take my back. He's having a hard time getting it, right, with my shotgun grip. And so then you add the legs like you are, where you're, see how,
yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's good. He's good.
He's never gonna.
It's because
guys,
he got me. So that's your bite. So
yeah.
Definitely, I just figured out what you're doing now.
Yeah. You're enhancing the position with these extra mechanics.
Yes. And
my position is 100.
Yes.
And so you won't get out of my position because I play the game.
Yes.
And I'm a master at the game. That's why
I understand.
You could do a bunch of things, but the reality is the leg won't break unless that mechanic is that strong. But it's so simple, it's retardedly hard, because you got to train your body and your mind to only think about the position while keeping an eye on this game.
One other question. Did you do dive bombers, Vitex push-ups? Because your back bridge and that leg breaking mechanics is amazing. Did you have drills you would do to get so strong, that leg curling up and going back?
Yeah, it's the drill we did all day.
Okay.
I literally do this, guys. Not right. If you study the position, this is the position. This is all I'm doing. Toe, heel. That's all I'm doing. And most people are doing this.
Yep.
and their leg will break long before anything will happen to mine. But if someone got the position that I get on me, I'd be like, whoa, shit, this doesn't feel good, because they would have won the game. This is why the game is so important. We think it's about the foot. It's not about the foot. It's literally about who can get to the position first. You get to the position, you'll always win the game. You literally always win the game because it's a 50-50 game. So whoever gets, yeah. But I have seen all the angles change with all the different types of grappling and all the stuff. There's been a ton of different entrances and counters and scoots and wrap ups and tie ups and all this stuff. But the fundamental mechanics still the same. And if I overpower your leg 2-1, I'm winning, and you can't get out. The other game we play is the choke game. So if you've ever been choked. I've been choked a lot, but a lot of people forget the mechanics. A lot of people forget the game when they're getting choked, because they're getting choked, and it's scary, and it's hard, and you can't breathe. But if you play the choke game, you'll get so good at defending chokes and understanding what the game is, you'll never worry about it. So literally, you can just give people your back. I used to start the game with high-level black belt jiu-jitsu guys in a full choke position. All right, go, team. And then I would fight my way out and find the mechanics to get out. And they were like, that's insane. How can you do that? I'm like, I don't know. But we need to figure this out so someone doesn't choke me, right? So I would reverse engineer all of the stuff to figure out what went on. At the end of it, we came up with this great game. It's called the choke game. And in the choke game, you can vary levels of participation. So you want to choke me? You're a big, strong guy. By the way, I did a seminar one time when I was wrestling this double NCAA guy, maybe 6'4" or something, real strong college kid. And I'd taught for 3 hours, wrestled for an hour. He comes in last, like late. The seminar's ending. And he's like, oh, coach, can I get some? And I was training for Henzo, and I'm tired. I'm laying on. I'm like, yeah, come on out here. And at the time, I was letting people front choke me. I go, yeah, just jump in and front choke me. He goes, okay. He bulldogs me down, and I have no idea what happened. All I know is I wake up, I see my wife, horrified look on her face. She's going, no! And my body's doing the herky jerk because I went right out. And then I go, oh, sorry, team. Anyways, the choke game focuses on you can come choke me. You're big and scary. Good Lord. Okay, well, let's get a proper choke position. So the real choke position. Oops, I think I lost my microphone. Sorry. I don't know what to do with this here. Put it in my ear. Does it have a little sticky thing on the side or something?
Yeah.
How'd you do that? Oh, that's what's rolling down my thing. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, you're not going to choke me. We're just going to work on position. Okay. Unless you want to choke me, then that's really weird. Okay, so guys, we all agree that this is you getting fucked up and choked. Yeah? So this is the actual choke position and the worst position you could probably end up in if you're getting choked with a rear naked choke. So the game is I'm being choked because he's on my back. Right? If he wasn't on my back, would this be happening? No, it wouldn't be happening at all. So if I can get him off my back and or get my back to the mat, he cannot choke me. It's impossible. So this is the game. It's called the choke game. What's the game? Yeah, I'm going to let him take a very dominant position. Let's try a different one. So this is like the beginning. Here, you're a beginner. You're not even getting choked. That's fine. And then this is like, hey, class 37. We're going to keep moving it up there. This is brown belts. These are black belts. All right, go, brother. I'm going to get out. But it develops such comfort in you, not worrying about the choke, but worrying about the position that you're being choked from. Now, you may lose the next position. That would suck. Maybe you get mounted, side mounted, or whatever. But you're not going to get choked your ass out, which is a real problem. So the choke game starts for us right here. Nice I don't know what happened to his thing now. Sorry. Starts here. Easy, passive. His job is to get the end position and win the game. My job is to get my back to the mat. The next game after this is the scramble for positions. But first, we deal with this. So are you ready? You gonna choke me?
Yep.
Okay, let's go. That's it. I'm not worried about him choking me. Because in order for him to choke me, I gotta stop moving. And I gotta let him stay on my back. But as long as I keep the game going, and I don't let him get on my back, or stay there,
Well, I knew I was losing the position. That's why I bailed and went to the...
Yeah. But that's the
They're coming
game.
out.
You felt it. He's like, oh, he's coming out. I got to
Snatch his
switch
neck,
to the
try to
next one. We could do this all day and have fun with it. I don't have to worry about getting choked. I don't have to worry about getting hurt. Eventually, he's going to choke me. Eventually, I will lose the game, especially if we get, further along. But just the comfort of it. I don't care who takes my back. Like, who gives a shit? Because they're not going to get me, but they're not going to get back control. And they're not going to get me in a position where they can choke me. You might get my head, they might get my leg, you might get a hold of my body. They're not going to be able to choke me. Eventually, they're going to get tired of trying to choke me. But for me, I'm just moving around, trying to put my back to the mat. So the techniques for that look like this. This is literally all I'm doing. Distance. Distance.
He finally beat me on one side.
Distance, that's all that I'm doing. And then you get over here and like, well, how about some distance this way? But all I'm really trying to do is put my shoulders across the mat, because then you won't be able to control my shoulders. And if you play it in a game in a fun way, then you're not all bound up in trying to choke somebody. You get into the game, oh, I just need to get in this position. Ooh, he keeps running away from me. Oh, this is a great workout. The second you start grabbing heads and wrenching and doing all this stuff, people get hurt, people get fatigued, and they get uncomfortable. Literally, this is all I'm doing. Then I go, oh no, let's go over here. And I just try to push my back to the mat. And it takes a tremendous amount of energy for someone to stay on that position and to keep trying this choke when they don't have the best position. So I feel like you were working a little harder than I was.
Yeah, definitely.
In the game.
Once I lost the head too, I had to spend so much exactly on the neck.
And it's a big position, and you earned it. Or I gave it to you, but you still earned it.
Right.
In competition, you're still going to earn it. But if you blow your arms up and you wear yourself out, and you don't have the choke, then the other guy has the advantage. The other guy's going to win the game when we play the next game. Because you're going to be like, oh, I got to rest my arms for a second. Let's see, you're pretty strong. Let's try it. If I fall asleep, somebody wake me up.
Yes, boss, you notice when you were rolling with him, with your arm, you were not using your arm to protect or defend.
Yeah.
But it was to me very strange. You are just confident by your posture and holding your chin.
Yeah.
Is that what you are doing, or there's any other trick that?
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Because I've played this game 1,000 times. I know what every human will try to do when they choke me. I know what everybody's arms feel like. I know the position they need to get to. There's no fear. That's where everyone else is. I'm going, fucking guys on my back, bro. Like, we just got to win the game. But it's a switch in mindset, right? Normally you're stressed. It's a problem. Oh my God, I lost position. Not a thing. You just got to win the next game. If you play the choke game, yeah. No, I let them full give. I'm like, all right, go, get me. Back when I was a real stud, they're like, go. And sometimes I wake up and they're like, I didn't get out, did I? Like, oh shit. Like, we're still studying the game. It's still working. But those are the type of things that it's a mindset, right? We do the same thing, we get the same result. But if we think about it a little bit differently, study the mechanics, study people, study bodies. This guy's strong as shit. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, good Lord, I picked the wrong guy. But it's a perfect example, right? Energy expenditure, technique, position, game. I won the game. And I didn't get hurt. But if he were really sawing my face off and trying to do all this stuff, he'd jack me all up. I'd be all, oh, dude, what are you doing? Like, my neck, oh, fuck. Played enough games to where, what? Next? No, there's no next here. Are you gonna choke? I don't think so. But that's the game. And until you feel it, and you feel the hand go there, and then you go, oh yeah, that's right. And you, oh, there we go, there we go. That's what the game is really about. And if you get with people you trust and you can have fun with it, you're like, I'm gonna try this. And then you go, that didn't really work out that well. Oops, fell asleep. It's the process of doing it to where you don't give a shit. I don't care. You're getting a leg game, I don't care. You're getting a choke game, I don't care. You're getting a punching game, I don't care. Because I have all the knowledge. And I know my body will perform with the techniques and the biomechanics and the science that I use. I know 100, guaranteed, the result of each and every technique, of each and every game. There's no, like, I wonder if this technique will work. Like, no.
You should never risk that shit. Legs are 50-50. That's not a fight you want to pick up. Unless you were a badass leg dude playing the leg game. Because if I lost 50% of my fights, I wouldn't be here with you guys. They'd be like, oh, that guy sucked. So you always want things in your favor, especially if you're going to risk your body, your mind, your self-defense, your community safety. Like then it's like, great, let's get to the, let's ask the question, let's find the science, let's play the game, let's make it fun, and then let's keep figuring it out. And that's what these sessions do for me, because all the stuff is still in my brain. It's just not connected the same like it used to be. There's data in there, but it hasn't been used. So it's just like old data. So I got to look in there and clean it up and be like, is that right? Okay, and remember things. But when you're playing the game and you're thinking this way all the time, you don't have to look for archived data. Your body goes, yes, I'm going to move. You know, my body automatically blocks this and does all these things. I don't know what it's doing, but I've played the game so many times. I know what it will do and what should be done. To defend it. To defend it, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's play the choke game. This will be the last thing that we do before we get to our other skull session, because I do want to pick your brains a tiny bit more. I want you guys to play the game. If you haven't played the game, let's just have a little fun with it. According to your technical skill confidence level, start where you want to start. Start here, start here, start here, start here. Be crazy and start. But let's play the game a little bit. And guys, look at my body. This is what you're not seeing when all this is happening. I'm driving up so that the choke is not coming and it has power on. You feel that? Yeah. Where it feels like your arms are lifting. I'm driving up to stop this as I'm scooting my back to the mat. This is all that I'm doing. Up, scoot my back to the mat, block my chin. Up, scoot my back to the mat, block my chin. And he's going, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
That's what it was.
He's going, whoa. Yeah. So it's that forward movement.
Force I didn't realize was there. Now it makes total sense.
Forward movement, angle to the mat, forward. And then when one side stops working, how about this side? And you just go to the other side. He's got to do the work now.
Yeah.
He's got to keep the game going, or he loses the.
I felt like my arm choke was out of position a lot.
Every time.
And I didn't realize what that was, but now that you say that.
Yeah, pushing it up. Yeah, you're driving this up, so there's not this power.
Right.
And then you're sliding off to the side.
Yeah.
All right, let's play. Quick game. If you haven't played before, start low, have some fun.
Yeah, that's how I usually skate. Yeah. I'd rather not.
Right. Yeah, well, yeah.
All day. You did it all day.
No.
And the more you do it, the more comfortable. No, it was more energy for me to keep you there. So from a logical standpoint, it's like, why would I do that?
Can I do one of these?
Yeah. Why would I do that?
Yeah, because I can step over like this. I also have stuff like
Instructor.
It's over under, okay? Ready, bro?
I'm supposed to get away and draw, but I was just like, okay. And I just sat on his leg. Got up.
He's just out. Gotta get him under, slide, take it, lift him up, get under. Don't let him out.
He's already out. Choke's long.
Yeah. He's already out. I never use my hands. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Let's jump on my basketball brother.
Now you gotta go.
All right.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, this little step up makes such. I feel just
push up a little more. Feel that?
Yeah.
See the angle change? Now when you push up, dip that shoulder. Feel that?
Yeah, that's it. I can feel it, but now that.
Yeah, good job, brother. Yeah. So the thing is, you just keep doing it. Right. And then someone will hop on and you'll be like, automatic.
So I was doing this leg thing, and you're showing this. Yeah. Same thing with this.
Same thing.
I wasn't doing enough up the motion.
Push it up. Is that cool? Scoot it out. Push it up. Scoot it out. And the next phase is this.
It's like this.
Right. There's no neck. How you gonna get choked? Right. So my brain's automatic. You go for my neck, my shoulder.
Yeah, even when I sat through that bulldog, I felt like I had to keep walking back and trying to inch under.
Yeah, because I'm
trying to keep going. It's like I don't really have it.
I'm tucking it and then I'm moving. So every time I move, you have to move. Yeah. Oh, you want to get choked? You want to get out? Oh, come on. Get in there. You're going to get out? All right. I mean, you think you're going to get out. You're going to wake up tomorrow, man. What happened? Okay, ready? Let's go. Video. Yeah, let's go. Okay, go. Yep.
Bridge and scoot, turn. Bridge forward.
Flip that shoulder down to the other shoulder. Yeah, you're trying to get it back on the mat. Remember, back on the mat. Back on the mat.
Take a bridge on it.
Yeah, so a little more up. A little more up for you, right? This is good, but it should be like even more. You're pushing up. You're shrimping on it. You're like shrimping backwards into me. So it's going to take my toe and move it up here. So I don't have any power.
So I got grabbed in there. You're playing. Come on. Okay.
Right, you gotta explode up quicker. There we go. More.
Go ahead. No, relax. Do it again. You're tensing your body up and you're not breathing, which is what's costing all this energy. I do like the fight. So ready? We're going to push up this way towards me. Push up with your body. And as you do, you slide your shoulder. It goes this way, same time. Right? Up, up this way. What it does to my body, watch, feel it. Push up, slide your shoulder. See what it does? It does. And you're going back to the mat. That's the game. So all I'm thinking of is back to the mat. Up, back to the mat. Up, back to the mat.
Get your shoulders down to the mat. I try to get hips to the mat and push yourself. Or this way, scoot yourself up somewhere. This is going to be harder for someone to do. This side, shoulders open. You're trying to keep yourself.
So push this up, push your body up. Like a strip, feel that? So that takes this angle out.
Okay.
Now the angle's not down where it's strong.
Right.
It's up here where it's weak.
Yeah.
So now that the angle is up, push your shoulder off to the mat. Nope, wait, other shoulder to the mat. All you're trying to do is touch your shoulder. All you're trying to do is touch your shoulder to the mat. So look, I'm here, watch. Pressure relieved, mat. Pressure relieved. Just go a little bit. Yeah, just go a little bit. So this is the goal. This on the mat. Whatever you can do to come up.
Watch out for that. When they start sliding down, I wouldn't even know where it's going to get out. I would switch. Because in wrestling, they always no. This is crazy. This is long. Sorry, guys. So in 2000, Kendo Kashin Tokamitsu Ishikawa lost via TKO to Hein Gracie at Pride 10. Ishizawa didn't have enough time to prepare for the fight and was knocked down under Inoki's. He took it under Inoki's pressure, pressured him to take the fight early. Anyway, Ishizawa seemed he wanted revenge because it hurt his career. And he was sent to the AKA Japan, gym by New Japan in San Jose to train with Bob Cook, Frank Shamrock, and Brian Johnson. At Pride 15, Ishizawa TKO'd Hein in under 5 minutes as Hein quit or ref stopped due to knee strikes to the side. This is from Harry Smith, son of the British Football. I heard Frank Shamrock was really impressed with Ishizawa and told Dave Meltzer and others who thought Ishizawa was going to lose a second time that Ishizawa was for sure going to beat Hein. And he was right. Ishizawa was a super cool and funny dude, really eccentric, but he said Frank worked him super hard and the game plan was yours, to use wrestling, get the takedown, wear Hein out with strikes, and stay out of the guard and stand up when not in position, as his stand-up had been corrected at AKA with you. So here it is. That's one question. He just wants your commentary on that. And you were also curious about your thoughts on Suzuki and Funaki, because he rolled with both of them. Both are great and in great shape. Funaki was physically stronger than Suzuki and had massive hands, especially for Japanese, and a lobster claw like a fucking clamp grip. Suzuki was very smooth like water, both dangerous to leg attacks. So can you address that for Harry, and I'll send him the video?
If I did, which I'm sure I did, yeah, my game was strategy. It was always strategy, because I study the body, I study the technique, I study everything, because I'm a nerd. And so it sounds like something I would have done and said, and most likely was a victorious set. But yeah, other than that, I truly have no memory of it. I remember AKA, Bob Cook, because I started all that stuff.
So now, Funaki and Suzuki, by the way, I went out to lunch with Suzuki, came into Denver for things, so I was out to lunch with him, and I was able to hook these two guys up via like video messages back for it. It was super fun. Can you share with these guys what, the reason I went to train with Frank, by the way, is because I randomly saw in an interview, he's like, yeah, I only own submissions for like Suzuki. So like, just so you guys know, and that's a Carl Gotch guy. But your take on those two guys, their fluidity, strengthening, and
they were amazing teachers for me, because I came from the Lions Den. Ken taught us, and it was his translated version of sort of the Japanese style, which was very Americanized. And Ken's stuff didn't really flow. It just was mechanically good, but it didn't really flow that well. And it was like blocks and kind of oddness and stuff. So I didn't get it. I'm like, what do you mean? We just stop here and then we start somewhere? Like, it didn't make a lot of sense to me until I went to Japan and started training with Minoru and Funaki. And I think Suzuki did it. He brought in a ball with a stick on top. And he goes, this is the most important thing about submission wrestling. I go, oh, tell me. He takes the ball, puts a stick on top, and he balances it. And he goes, balance and control. That's the secret. I go, oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah, Frank.
It was like that simple. I go, that makes perfect sense. But I trained for months and months, and it wouldn't stick in my head until he showed me the ball and the stick.
He was the guy, the first I ever saw in America do the yoga balls, those big inflatable balls.
Oh yeah.
And man, it was brilliant for solo drills, because how many times you guys have a hard time finding somebody to roll with? He had a billion different things that you could do with these balls to get up to speed. It was amazing.
Still recommend it. Best for flow and movement and fluidity and breath, and still the best thing ever. My balls got smaller and smaller. That's a funny statement. As I got older, my balls, it was the opposite effect. They got smaller and smaller because my circles got smaller. Everything got smaller. My precision was so much tighter that I could take like a small ball and do all the same stuff on it as I would with a giant ball. So just from a developmental standpoint, that's how tight all the stuff was getting over the term, because I understood mechanically what had to happen. I had these tools that helped me flow, the ball, the team, the stuff. But yeah, by the end I had this little tiny, little tiny hard ball.
You'd have us doing like...
I'd say it's the personal stuff, the tenets of martial arts, honor, respect, discipline. I think those cross over into all things, and they were the most value, the biggest value I got from it that I still carry on. All my businesses run the same. We have integrity. Like we're all like we act like we taught and trained, and everything in our community goes that way. So that cloth, that fabric, I would have probably never run into had I not ventured off into the martial arts world, because I came from prison, I came from street fighting, like all these things where that fabric is not a common thing. So it's what allowed me to have all this, because once I realized, like, oh, we're just people trying to do the thing, and we have the same thing in common. Like, we're all trying to figure something out together, and that is the power in and of itself. And if you're going to be in that group, going to be with those people, you got to act a certain way, or someone's going to kick your ass. And then you'll figure it out.
The whole journey. Yeah. That's a good question, too, by the way. Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah, so when you fought Boss Drew in the pancreas, the smacks in the faces, was that a work or was that shoot?
No, it's 100% real. Boss and I are really good friends. So, in Japan, after you fight, there's nothing to do. So everyone gets on a train, go to Roppongi, where the foreigners party, and you just party down until the sun comes up. And so Boss and I had done that like 7 or 8 or 9 times together before we had our second fight. And then we had our second fight. Boss was really serious. I was not. I had this really sweet Alaskan girlfriend who spoke Japanese. And so it opened up this whole other world of like awesomeness for me. But I wasn't trained. And so when I fought him, I wasn't in the same condition that he was. He was way stronger than me. And so I didn't feel like I could make it conditioning-wise through the turn. And so then my brain went to, okay, well, what do we have for secondary strategies? And I was like, what's psychology? Boss is a very sensitive man. He grew up bullied and sickly, and he turned himself into a monster. Before that, he was a sickly boy. He was, spent all his time in his room alone, like reading books. And so I knew that side of Boss. And Boss is a guy you don't make fun of, because he will beat your ass. And so that was a strategy to get him to break the rules and give me that 1 point, and I was going to hang on till the end. Got it, I'm still winning. Yeah. But then he kicked me in the eye, I cut my eye open, I ended up losing anyway. So it was a good strategy for an unprepared moment that, yeah. It was
better answer than I had anticipated. Actually, I'd like to.
It's all true, all true. Yeah. Yes.
What are the best two workout to get strength and conditioning, and how long do I need to do this workout in general and plan before major like national, international competition in submission and grappling field?
Yeah, so for grappling, it's good to be strong. Like it's good to have muscular strength. This guy's really strong. Like his strength is a massive attack on my physicality. So having that, having the grip, having things that can anchor you to your thing are super important. Other than that, it's flexibility, it's motion, it's fluidity, it's your body being in control of your body. And so for most of my career, I followed like a bodybuilding work. I literally just bodybuilded 3 days a week, which would be almost the same as bodybuilding. Go in, lift 8 to 10 reps, 3 exercises, 3 sets, like the whole thing, like a traditional bodybuilder. And that worked for me until I got into my mid-30s. And then I just needed more conditioning. We figured out about vascular training then, figured out about VO2 max, figured out all this other science that I didn't know existed. And then I needed to get a little stronger. So then we shifted that into more dynamic stuff like the kettlebells, explosive track and field stuff. When I fought Tito, I trained with with Jerry Rice's track and field coach. Like one of his famous track and field. I'd never run track in my life. But this guy was the guy who made the fastest guy in the world faster. And so I was like, well, I'll hire you, come on out. And he taught me to be fast. He taught me to be explosive, more than I already was. On my feet, on my toes, that type of thing. And he just, so you need that type of dense strength and then good conditioning. You can't well, maybe you can over condition, but you can't, it always helps to be in best shape. For me, it was always just the best shape. Strongest I can be, the most flexible I can be, and then it became the most vascular I can be, and then it became the fastest I could be from my toes, and it became how fast can I punch, and it became how do I slow these punches down through hypnosis so they're not hitting my face, because that's really scary. I literally saw I saw a hypnotist for 2 years, and his entire job was to convince my brain that the fists were bigger than they were, so I could see them better. Because my brain's really smart, and it's going, this is not a good idea. You cannot be doing this.
How did the hypnotist work? Did you get results out of it?
Yeah, I actually did. Yeah, he'd become somewhat famous because he took struggling baseball players, and he was hypnotizing them to see the ball bigger. The guys that were not doing well, he was bringing in, he had a whole business doing it. And he was the guy. And so I run across this guy from another guy who's a friend of mine, and I'm like, I got a problem with fists. They're tiny and they're coming really fast. And so we went down this path. I trained him for 2 years, and he indeed made them look bigger, which gave my mind more comfort and time to digest, understand, and deal with this situation. And yeah, but it's all those little, everything you can do to make the machine better. Everything you can do to make the mind better. Everything you can do to make the spirit better. That's the game. That's the real game. That's the game of life, right? And if you want to do this or that, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Those should still be the steps. Like, great, we're going to wrestle for 20 minutes? Shit, I better have 60 minutes of cardio. I better make sure I'm strong and strong. All that is science. VO2 max, science. Strength training, science. Everything, your body's a perfect machine. It will adjust to whatever you do to it. Unless you break it or really mess it up. But it'll just get stronger. It'll just keep growing. Everything, brain, I grew up in an era of steroids. Everyone did steroids. Like everyone, there was doing the steroids right over there. And everyone believed, like, yeah, it's gonna, you know, now I'm tougher, now I'm stronger, now I'm better. But it wasn't. It was a shortcut. And all those guys would go to perform at the highest level with everything on the line, and they would be one step short. Because at the back of their mind, they were like, yeah, that's right, I did do that sheet there, and yeah, I actually didn't do the work, and because it wasn't real. It was something that was fake. But when you really do it, and you're really prepared, you're literally unstoppable. And you might lose, you might fail, that's part of the game, right? But when you're at the top of your thing, and your intention is there, very few people can beat you. And that's all that I had. It was this great thing, great intention, and then we talked earlier, I made up my mind a long time ago, like, I'm gonna kill everybody. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but these are my personal feelings. It's terrifying, this is scary. I grew up abused, I went to prison, like I fought on the streets. I know what life and death stuff is, and this feels like life and death stuff to me. That I couldn't get that feeling to go away, so I embraced it. I was like, well, I'll just kill everybody. I mean, I'm sure the ref's gonna stop long before that, but that mentality is what, you know, left me undefeated for a decade. Because everyone else was coming, all right, well, I'm going to do some techniques, and, you know, if I get hurt, that'll be fine. And I was like, no, I'm going to literally kill you.
By the way, guys, get the insurance.
And then I would tell them, too, I'd be like, you know, I'm going to kill you on Saturday night. They'd be like, oh my God, what's wrong with that, man?
So if I may, though, on the conditioning side,
yeah.
You did have to do the fucking crazy squats and all that shit, too, right?
Well, we used to over-condition, right? Because, you know, especially with the submission wrestling, catch, it's a lot of physicality. Yes. And so you need muscles that will go that term for that long, at that hard, at that fast. So conditioning becomes a vital component. You can't do too much, because we were doing 500s, like we were doing all these insane numbers that as my knowledge grew, I was like, hey, well, actually we don't need that much conditioning. We need more vascular conditioning over here, and we need more explosive vascular conditioning over here, and then we need more technical, you know, and breathing over here. And then all of that will equal a much bigger thing than me just doing 1,000 squats, which is going to wear my knees out in 20 years. I need knee replacement. Like, so I was watching all these people do all these things, and I was just taking the stuff that was good. It's Bruce Lee's approach: take what works, do the study, practice it, teach it, and then lay it out. Like, find a better way. But for me, it's always find a better way. That's why today I was like, what am I going to teach these guys? Like, these guys have probably been studying way more than I have for the past 14 years. Seriously, like, you guys are way into it, and I'm like at the beach, you know, having Mai Tais. So it was a mental hurdle for me to pull up all this information for you guys, dust it off, and make sure it was something of value. But you guys don't have to suffer from that. You guys are rolling it every single day. I want you to take these ideas and spread them around and be like, hey, what about this? And what about that? And then the crazy guy said this. And you'll get that feedback. It's like, oh, well, what about this thing? What about this angle? And what about this leg? And, you know, all that stuff. But it truly is a journey. You need this group. Like, without this, you're sitting by yourself in your room. You're doing nothing. You're just like, oh, I got a plan.
So guys, like, seriously, think about, he's saying, like, yeah, I'm a nerd. Like, think about how smart the forehead he was. He comes in here, 14 years fucking rusty, showing you shit, and you guys are all, you know where the leg lock game has gone in 14 years, and he's still fucking relevant, ahead of the game. That's how far ahead he was. Guys, I mean, this is crazy. Go ahead, you're next, and then I got Kevin after you.
When it came to the punching game, I mean, back then, you know, working these games for grappling, were you also a user of like flow sparring there to work your timing, or was it all just let's go kill each other back then?
The original Lions Den was Ken didn't really know how to strike, so he didn't understand striking. He knew how to street punch, and that was about it. So we were taught originally zero, like hit him with the right hand. Like, I think my first 5 or 6 fights, I had 3 or 4 striking techniques. Inside leg kick, right hand, round leg kick, and like push kick. It was all that I had, because that's all that was taught to me. And so it wasn't until I hooked up with Maurice Smith, and you know, fucking world champion kickboxer, that I even understood what the stuff was. Before I was just afraid, because it would hit me and I couldn't stop it, and it would hurt. I'm like, oh, why is this happening? But I didn't understand enough about striking to even understand why I was being hit. And guys like Maurice gave me all that knowledge and taught me the mechanics and understanding of it's where the Jello theory came from. It's where all these crazy ideas and theories came from. Because my brain was desperately trying to understand what happened. For sparring, guys, you do not need to punch yourselves in the head or punch other people in the head to learn how to punch and how to understand striking and how the body works and how the body moves and how the body reacts. You actually do not need to get hit once to do any of that. What you do need to do is understand the distance and the range and the timing and what the impact is and what it does and how to avoid it. And you need to understand the mechanics of striking. So once I started figuring those out, then I was like, what? You know, because back in the day, we literally just beat the hell out of each other every day. That was what we considered to be sparring. At the end of my career, it was very specialized. I had a boxing coach. I had a kickboxing / conditioning / whatever striking is not being cared for over here. And I was selectively adding all that to my game and focusing on it very, very intently. And for that, you don't need to get punched in the head. Guys, the Jello theory states your brain is a bowl of Jello. It sits in a bowl. If you shake your Jello, it will slap against the sides of the bowl and you'll get brain damage. Which means you should never shake the Jello, ever. Ever. You should never let someone punch you in the head. Much less repeatedly. Every time you do it, you wouldn't bang your iPhone on the floor or drop it and bounce it off a wall. That's what you're doing when you get hit in the head. And I only know this because I came up with this theory because it made perfect sense. I spent 10 years teaching it, and I ran into the neuroscientist who filed the U.S. patent for cannabis as a neuroprotectant. And I told him my Jello theory. And he goes, that's brilliant. He goes, that's fantastic. He goes, keep teaching it. He goes, but there's more. He goes, not only is it a bowl, but there's sharp points inside the bowl, your ocular bones, and there's other parts. And he goes, not only are you breaking up the Jello and breaking up the fibers that hold the Jello together, you're poking little holes in your Jello. I go, oh, bro. But by the way, my first boxing coach, Javier Mendez, said, no, it's fine, it doesn't hurt, and just don't let it happen hard. And I'm like, well, is there any science? Because this older guy's like drooling. Like, what happened to him? And they're like, well, I don't know about him. He couldn't take a punch. And none of us should be taking a punch. It doesn't make any sense. And you can train all you want without taking a punch. Yeah, that's a good question, by the way. And I got to say my Jello too.
Kevin. Two-pronged question. Number one, who was the most technical grappler? MMA, submission wrestling, whatever.
Suzuki Minoru.
Minoru, okay. Yeah. Second, who was like the just scariest, most intimidating guy, and how'd you overcome that mentally?
I would say Ensen Inoue.
Really?
Yeah, Ensen Inoue was a real tough dude. He was half Hawaiian, half Japanese. He had a great, aggressive style, jiu-jitsu based, but also a big striker. And when I fought him, I think he was like 218 or 222 or something like that. And I was, 190 pounds like I always am. And so, he literally punched me across the ring. He punched so hard. I came out and I was like, all right, we're doing this. He knocked me all the way. I go, holy shit. This is not good. But just the physicality, it's like wrestling with him, the physicality, the strength that he had. I mean, at one point we were clinch fighting and he literally just grabs me, folds me over, and climbs on my chest and starts like elbowing my face.
How'd you overcome the mental aspect, like preparing for the fight?
Well, I knew what his skill set was, and I knew he was really dangerous. So I knew it would be a conditioning-based, probably a striking game. Because even though he had strong punching, it wasn't like boxing or it wasn't technical. It was just really powerful because he was so big and he was strong and he swung for the fences. So I knew it would be a conditioning and kind of an athletic-based game. I had already made the decision to kill every human I ever came across. And then, but when he got me in that position, it was really dangerous. And by the way, no one had ever gotten out of that position with him. Everyone died. Everyone was, defeated. So that was like his finishing position. So he got his most and strongest position on me. And then, I was laying here like this, and I thought about the commitment I'd made about swinging the sword and killing everybody. And then I thought, oh my God, this guy's actually going to kill me. And I was like, dude, I can't believe it's happening. And then I go, wait a minute, now fuck that. And I got up, kicked his ass, and knocked him out. But it was a psychological moment. It was a moment where my brain went, okay, maybe I am, maybe, and then I went, oh, hell no. And from that moment on, like, it never came back. I've never questioned it. It's never. But everyone, I think, needs to cross that bridge at some point with whatever they're doing, just to feel that thing. Yeah. You get pushed, you get challenged, you get whatever, you fail, whatever it is, and then you go, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like how that feels, or I don't like what that did, and then you make a change. And so for me, I never had to think about it again. But I had that moment. Yeah, if you watch the fight, you'll see me.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm here and I'm trapped, and I'm talking to him, I'm laughing at him, and I'm talking in the corner, and then his elbow in my head, and then you see me, I put my head down, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna fucking kill me. And I go, this is terrible. And then I went, oh no, what am I doing? But I think, a lot of us have that moment. You step over the threshold, right, and then it goes away. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I got one more.
Okay, one
Yeah.
more.
Where'd you get the stem cells?
Oh, they're mine. Yeah. There's a new technology. I mean, it's new, but there's a leading technology now that a lot of the athletes and former athletes are using. And so they harvest your own stem cells from your body. It's from your fat, which I didn't have a lot. Got more now, but it was a hard harvest. And then they take them and they put them in their little centrifuge. They clean them up and they get them all awesome. Then they're basically blank core cells because they're yours. And then when you put them into your body, they turn into whatever is needed. So they become a other cell, or this cell, or that Bob cell, or whatever needs to be done. And
Where'd you get them done?
What's that?
Where'd you get them done?
Oh, I have my back, so I got a broken spine. My vertebrae is broken, and so I have no stability in my spine. So it's been a 30-year journey of me trying to stabilize my spine. I happened when I was 16. So it's been, 36 years?
You're moving pretty well. You're all
wow. Yeah.
This spine?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just can't stand on mats for more than 3 hours, and then my back hurts. But because it's broken, it requires all this musculature just to hold it together, just to keep the structure every day. And so it's incredibly fatiguing. And then what happens is everything gets inflamed. And so, by tonight, it'll feel like there's a, small cow standing on my low back, just because everything will be so tired from standing on these soft surfaces. And so I had direct treatments to that area, and then we did my knee again, and my shoulder, if I have any knee tendons. This one I did a slap tear on, and so once in a while it gets creaky, and so they did direct injections to here, and then the rest of it was done through IV. And so it's my cells going back into my body after they're awesome. But yeah, the difference in pain, in pain management, is they told me when I was 16, I'm never going to play contact sports. I was going to be in pain for the rest of my life, and I need to be very careful with these medications or I'll become a drug addict. And I was like, bro, I already got problems, man. What are you talking about? Damn! Yeah, but now, the past 3 years, I've been teaching, and I'm back to surfing and doing a lot of physical things that I just wasn't able to do. Pain was just too great. I still got to lay on ice, once or twice a day, but it's worth it. Yeah, still moving. This guy didn't choke me, so I'm pretty proud. He came close, though. I'm not gonna lie. He came close.
I'll take close.
All right, guys, let's give Frank a big. So, guys, we're gonna go take the next 5 minutes. Take a piss break or whatever you want to do, hydrate. We're going to come back. Jesse's going to hang out. Wade's going to hang out. If you have any questions, you want to tighten anything up, you want to do something, just remember, we got a big day tomorrow.